Alright, what's going on YouTube? So, I've been MIA, I know. I've been working on the other channel, but it's time to get you all some content. But today we were working again on the BMW. So, two things we're doing today. My girlfriend was nice enough to buy me a new filter. We're going to change that. But the main thing that this video is going to be about is how to change the front wheel hub assembly on your 435. There are videos out there on the 3 Series, whatnot. You have it. But 435, there was none. So, ta-da! We're going to do it today. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is get all these loosened up before you jack it up. I make that mistake almost every time. You're going to get the car up, and then from there, get the wheel off, and we're going to get to work. Go. So for this, you're going to need 17 millimeter, and for a lot of this, it's either 17 or 18, I believe, so let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to jack it up. Normally, there's a spot underneath that you can jack up the whole thing, so that way you can do both sides, turn the wheel, whatnot. But I'm hella hard-headed, and I want to see if I can get away with just jacking up this one side, because I'm only doing this one side. So let's see if we can get into a giant headache or not. Let's go. Alright, wheel is off. There we go. Just a little note, don't be an idiot and use what I be using sometimes, because you get stuff like that to happen. But I'm not super tripping on these rims. They're already super trash from putting tires on, so I'm not really worried about it. But alright, here we go. So we're gonna take the calipers off, the rotors off. Then, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but here, let me use my light. You guys gotta pick one of these up. These are crack. Hella fire. Yeah, you can't see it. But in between there is the assembly hub, and that's what we're gonna try to get to. So let's see where the yeah, this is probably gonna be a pain. Let's see what goes on. So next step is to take off the caliper, but you know, you guys always make sure your stuff is very well organized so you can find all your tools, especially the 10 millimeter. But you know, it is what it is. But I have this, and the reason I have this is because you're going to need to hang your caliper up, and I do have an S-hook, but I have 2 of them actually, but God knows where they are, so we are using this. If you don't have this, which is baling twine, you can also use like a coat hanger or some shit. So we're going to take the 2 18s, which are this one and this one. So we're gonna get those off, we're gonna hang it up, and then we'll be able to get the rotor off, and we'll be, actually, we gotta take this off, which holds the rotor on. That's easy. But yeah, we're getting close to actually being able to do the repair. Alright. So, these with the breaker bar come loose very easily. You can actually spin them by hand and throw out a little bit. I'm doing this without looking, so I got a feel for it. There it is. Alright. So, I'm gonna put my knee underneath here so that way it doesn't fall. But it's pretty straightforward, this whole process. Get the caliper off, get the rotor off, and then you have access to deal with your impending headache, or at least mine. All right, Just wiggle that on out. And there you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang that to that. And we're on to the next step. Very fancy. Very exclusive holding caliper holder. That's the next part. So I gotta go over here to my, again, very well organized. I think it's actually this one. I think I got lucky. Nope. Yep. Alright, so I guess if you didn't do it like I do it, I forgot that I did tighten it completely, but just hand tight so that way I can get it loose. All I did was just hold this and then put the camera down and turn it. But if you didn't do that, you can wedge a screwdriver in between here and the caliper when the caliper is still on to loosen that first, so that way once you get to this point, once this is off, it's no big deal. But I'm gonna use my foot here to hold it on and film at the same time. We're gonna get this off real quick, like so. It's very tiny threads, it's not that big of a deal. Put that over here. This is a semi-new caliper, so it's not rusted on like yours might be, but ta-da, there we go. That is what we're fixing. So I can put this down without, actually, put it over here. Alright. So these are the bolts that we need to get off. There is 4 of them. My handy light. Oh, there they are. Yep, so we need to go to the store. I think those are a T60 or a T60 plus. I think the plus are the rounded ones. I'm not sure, don't quote me. But that's them. So we're off to the store. Alright, YouTube, so here we are. Napa Auto Parts. So I'm gonna run up in here real quick and I'm gonna hopefully grab what we need and we'll get back to the house. Let's go. Alright. We got T60, but they didn't have the TP60, so as far as what my phone is telling me, not too many places have it, so I might have to order that online. So we're gonna go home and see if we can get it to do it. But alright, so I got lucky. This worked. But since, like I said, I'm gonna create a giant headache for myself, because that's what I do when I work on this car. Every time that I would go down with my breaker bar, whatever the hell, I'd get a little turn, then I'd have to take this off, turn it, and then put it back in order to get a point for where I can go down again with it. So that was really annoying, and I still have 3 more to do it like that. So not gonna be fun, you guys, but I'm gonna do it. That amazing place is where the last bolt is, and there you go. So you want to get to it, this is how we're gonna have to do it. So fit it in first, and then we're gonna take our little handy, you see, it's not a regular extension, it's the Do You Feel Me extension. Get that in there, and now we have access to work with it, or access to work on it. But I looked at it at first and said, yeah, right. But we're actually gonna do it, so here we go. Alright, again, using my knee to hold things. But after a couple turns, you can get it going by hand. And that's what I'm doing now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that off real quick. But we're there, people! We did it. Alright, well, just for the sake of YouTube, I am pretending like this already isn't off, but ta-da! That's it. Pretty simple. Yeah. I guess it's off to BMW to get new bolts. Alright, what's going on YouTube? So, it's now Monday. Got new parts for the car. Originally, on the old ones, you would start screwing in the old bolts and they wouldn't go in. So these new bolts are a little smaller. See, here's the old ones. That's as far as they would turn. That's it. So these new ones, we got four new bolts. They screw in. Take my word for it, they screw in. But we're gonna get these into there, get that on, and then put everything back. That will be the install. It's pretty much done. And then I'm gonna do the little air filter, and we'll call it a day. So let's get cracking. Let's go. So first things first, before you get going, get yourself a nice tall can of crack. So like I said before in the beginning, these aren't that hard. It's just these two that are kind of in the way, and that's why you would want to move the wheel side to side. But like I said, I like giving myself a giant headache, so let's do this. All right, we got Minion.
That's sick. We
got Dog. Everybody's finally awake, but I got it on. So it's just putting everything back together, and we're done.
So
let's do it.
I wish I was born in the 90s. How what?
Why do you want to be born in the 90s?
Because it was so, I was thinking, there was little cars, there was Vipers, there was Dodge, there was everything.
Okay. Alright. Car is sprayed down. It's covered in dust, but it's back together. The only thing that I have to do is finish the filter for the intake and then replace this back brake, and it should be 100% good to go. So, he's about to say what?
About the back brakes.
Oh, okay.
Fix the back brakes.
Alright, YouTube, so that's the install. It's not really that hard. You just, one, have to have the right tools, and two, make sure that the part is threaded to the right size, right thread pitch that you're going to be doing. So other than that, not much more else to say. So like and subscribe, you know the deal.